Shalom. I want to start off by giving all honor, all glory, all praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rokaha, Kwadash. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and double honors to the elders, prophets, and teachers who rule well and taught us this 100% true. Now, in this quick lesson, I'll be going into stumbled onto a clip from a movie I saw a while back. And I had the spirit immediately hit me, and decided I'm gonna go ahead and bring out some precepts, and I'm gonna play it along with a few other videos because Esau Edom, they got it mixed up. We got a lot of Edomites coming out saying that they're saved, right, through John 3:16 and Galatians 3:28, that they have salvation and that they can be saved, right? And we're gonna be going into, if that's a thing or not, right? Which we all know the answer to. But some of these movies, Esau Edom, he knows the answer. He shows that he knows the answer in his movies. So nevertheless, let's jump straight into it.
Look at it. It's gobbling up all my fruit.
My lord, the land is dry. Our life is lost. But our faith in you never wavered, and now we await the promise of the eternal reward.
He thinks there's an eternal reward. No, sorry. There's no eternal reward for you, dog. There's no.
Notice that he said for you.
Nothing for you after death, except death.
You are no God. I renounce you.
Go for it, nigga. It's over. And Esau Edom can claim that he renounces all he wants. You were never included in this to begin with. So you don't even have to renounce. Don't even waste your strength, because you were never chosen for this to begin with. Right? And we're going to go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. So you heathen, you're a very little thing, man. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. So you heathen, you're vanity, man. And we're going to go into that word. All right? All right, vanity. Vanity.
Strong's H8414. Tohu.
Right? And this is vanity, formless, confusion, unreality, emptiness, formless, right? Nothingness, empty space. You're empty space, man. That which is empty or unreal, wasteland, wilderness, place of chaos, vanity, right? And we got the Strong's definition. The root meaning to lie waste, a desolation of surface, i.e. desert, figuratively, a worthless thing. You're worthless, man. Adverbally, in vain. You're vain. Hey, it gets no clearer than that. But Esau Edom will puff himself up and say that he's actually something when he's clearly nothing. He's base. Right. And we're gonna follow that up with 2nd Ezra. We're gonna start at chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all. And the people also whom thou hast chosen. So there's a separation. All this have I spoken before thee, O Yahweh, because thou madest the world for our sakes. He made us a world for our sakes, man. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, right? Those who are not Israelites, the chosen, thou hast said that they are nothing, but like unto spittle, that spit, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. So they hate 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verses 54 through 56, they hate those. They hate these verses, man, because it cuts them down and it shows them that they're really nothing, right? Yahweh doesn't care. And they can't get over that. They just like that man in the video, man. And we know we're going to have those that question this, right? And say, well, why would he make, the Edomites, the Amalekites, the Ammonites, the Moabites? Why would he make all these other nations if they meant nothing, right? Even though it said back in 2nd Ezra, let me grab that again, right? Even though it said in verse 55, all this have I spoken before thee, O Yahweh, because thou madest the world for our sakes. That's why he made it. He made all of them for our sakes, right? But even if that's not good enough for you, then just you can't question Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Let's get that in Isaiah chapter 45, verse 9. Woe unto him that striveth with his maker. Let the potsherd strive with the potsherds of the earth. Shall the clay say to him that fashioned it, what makest thou? Or thy work he hath no hands? Right? Right. And we're going to follow that up with Romans 9 and 18. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will harden, in whom he will hardeneth. Salakia. Right? Thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against power? Shall the thing that forms say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? You're not to question Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, man. You have no power in that. And he's going to make vessels that's going to be fit unto destruction. And he's also on the other side, because he's a just balance. He's going to make vessels that's fitted for mercy. And you don't got no say so in that, man. And guess what else that means? You're not going to come to the children of Israel and talk shit to them either, man. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against men or beasts, that ye may know how that Yahweh doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. So, shall not a dog move his tongue? Let's go into that word. Let's go into that word dog so you know who it's talking about, man. Oh, Salakia, I went way too far that part now. Right here.
Strong's H3611. Kelev.
All right. And that biblical outline biblical usage, dog. Dog, literal contempt or abasement. I like that word, contempt or abasement, of pagan sacrifice of a male cult. You know what that is. But we're gonna go into that abasement. Let's go into that word, man. We're gonna go into that word, basement. I'm gonna go into the root etymology of that, right? Abasement. It's at the top, Slakia. Abasement, embarrassment, dread, fear, right? From abase plus mint, right? Sense of action, of lowering and price. Let's go earlier. We're gonna go to abase, right? Abase. Late 14th century, reduce in rank, from Old French abaser, diminish, make lower in value or status. To make lower in value, man. And what is that going into? What's that going into? That sounds familiar, right? This is the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 3. It's like I'm gonna go back some. Slakia, right? I'm gonna start at verse 1. Slakia. The burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith Yahweh. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith Yahweh? Yet I loved Jacob, right? And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. So you can't defeat this word, man. And we're gonna go into that heritage, because a lot of people say Edom or Esau is done away. He's dead. He was only talking about Esau. No, he was talking about not just Esau, but his mountains and his heritage. What is that word heritage going into? Right? his heritage.
Strong's H 5159. Nachala. Nachala.
Right? Possession, property, inheritance, heritage, property, portion, share, inheritance, portion, man. Something in the Strong's definition, right? In its usual sense, properly. Something inherited. Heirloom, right? But it's notice that it says possession, right? And what does the scripture say? When a man gets a wife, he getteth a possession. So what do you think the children that come forth out of that woman is? They're going to be a possession as well. And that heritage is going to go into your wife and your children as well. Right? And there's going to be waste for the dragons. You're done. And don't worry, we can back that up with scripture, man. Right? We're going to go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Prepare slaughter for his children. It gets no clearer than that. But you're still going to have Jake, right? They can't get it. You're always going to have them Jakes to try to defend Esau, Edom. Let's grab another precept. We're going to go to the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall be not any remaining of the house of Esau. Notice that it says the house of Esau. So guess what? It's not just Esau, but the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. Right? And for y'all who try to say Esau, Edom is done away with, because, you know, you got those Christians that say that Edom's gone. No, because it says Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning that followeth. So you're off. Now let's get back to this. Let's go through that video one more time, man. All right.
Look at it. It's gobbling up all my fruit.
And hey, that's beautiful that he just said that. He's gobbling up all my fruit. What does that go into? Let's see what that goes into, man. Let's minimize this. Because that's your pie. All right. Slakia. Trying to figure out what precept I'm looking for. We got it. Right. Book of Zechariah, chapter 2, verse 8. For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations, which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. So we're the apple of his eye. We're the fruit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So it's beautiful that he said that. Play it again. Let's run that back.
Look at it. It's gobbling up all my fruit.
Right. And
My Lord, the land is dry. Our life is lost, but our faith in you never wavered, and now we await the promise of the eternal reward.
Fuck out of here. He laughed. He laughed at him. So let me get this straight. You enslave, rape, rob, and pillage my people. Right? You unalive them on the regular. And then even now you got police brutality in the prison system. You've done all this to the apple of my eye. And you think that you're going to sit in front of me and talk about a reward of eternal life? Yeah, okay. And what really grinds my gears, man, is that you want dibs on this everlasting life, but you can't even be honest about who the people are, who the people of the scriptures are, man. What do they say? What do they say? That the so-called black man, that Yahushua wasn't the so-called black man. That's what they say, man. Because Yahushua was a Judite, which means he would be the so-called African Americans. That would have been what he looked like. And they can't admit that. What do they say? Let's get what they say. It's locking. Done with that one. What they be saying? What's their number one thing to say?
Was Jesus white or black? He was black.
Well, actually, he was Middle Eastern, and so that's usually more of a brown color.
Yeah, Middle Eastern. Yeah, he said that.
But let me
Immediately. Actually, he was Middle Eastern. Shut the fuck up. And they've twisted our people so bad that you got Jake that's backing them up. Right? You can't make this shit up, man. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, man. And you see Esau slipping. The narrative is slipping out of his hands. He's losing that narrative. He's losing the grip on it. So what is he going to try to do? He's going to try to destroy the narrative. And that's what they, Jake's boy Trump is trying to do, man. He wants to destroy Black history, even though the Black history that they give us is not even the full story. He even wants to destroy what's set in what they have, right? You're going to get that too. Slock you. Pull that back up. He's trying to destroy the little bit of history we do have.
School choice, okay. But also, separate from school choice, we're going to take the Department of Education, close it. I'm going to close it. We'll have one person, could be you if you decide to retire.
Okay, Mr. President, here's what bothers me about that. So let's say you have a liberal city, let's Los Angeles, San Diego, and they just decide we're going to get rid of that history. We got new history. This is America built off the backs of slaves on stolen land. And that curriculum comes in.
Then we don't send them money. We would save half of our budget.
Okay. You hear that? Then we're not going to send them any funds. Basically shutting that school down. School wants to go against what we say and teach, and that's too easy. We can't control the narrative. We're just going to destroy the whole narrative itself. We're just going to take it completely out of there, man. That's what we're going to do. And that's because they're scared, man. They already know what's coming. Truly, what Esau Edom is really scared of. Let me grab it. Show you what Esau Edom is truly scared of, man. Let's see what they're really afraid of. Let me minimize this. Right? This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 1, verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with power to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. And what does that go hand in hand with, man? Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with a sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. This is what they're really afraid of. They're terrified, man, because they already know what's coming. Their spirit knows what's coming. And the elites definitely know, man. Right? And we're going to prove it. Out of the snake's mouth, man. Right?
But I would like to say what scares us is I think we hear violence.
The young lady said she's afraid of violence. And isn't it sad that we who have been the victims of so much violence, now whites fear violence from us? We do not have a history of killing white people. White people have a history of killing us. See? And what you fear, may I say this, sir? What you fear, and it's a deep guilt thing that white folks suffer. You are afraid that if we ever come to power, we will do to you and your fathers what you and your people have done to us.
And that's exactly what's going to happen. I don't care what this ninja talking about. That's what's going to happen. We just read it. We just read it, man. We just read it. Slogia. Give me a second. We just read that, man. Right? Let me minimize this. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with power to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Going straight into Revelation 13:10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. That's what they're afraid of, man. That's why they feel like they gotta control the narrative. They have to. Because they think that they can slow down what's happening. You can't slow this down, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushua has the ball. This is his court. You're not stopping this. Here goes some more proof of this fear.
During the antebellum period, all the way going back hundreds of years. So I find it fascinating. And the psychological research has found recently that white folks in particular tend to view black men as bigger than they are, older than they are, and more aggressive than they are. There was a study done not too long ago with white folks, not even the Darren Wilsons of the world, forget him for a minute, done with white liberal folks, liberal in the sense that when they tested them for overt bias, they didn't have any. But then they took these non-biased, quote unquote, white folks, hooked them up to brain scan imaging machines and started flashing really fast, 85 millisecond subliminal images on a computer. So fast that your conscious mind doesn't even know what you saw, but your subconscious does. Some of the images were really meaningless, a blade of grass, a bunny rabbit, whatever, a bouncing ball. It didn't really do anything on the brain image machine. But then they showed a black male face for 85 milliseconds. And that part of the brain that responds to fear, anxiety, and stress lit up like a Christmas tree as long as that image was on the screen. And then when it was gone, the reaction went away. That was among, quote unquote, liberal white folks. That was among non-racist in the traditional sense, white folks. So if that can happen, even to supposedly open-minded folks, imagine how it's going to happen to a guy who, by his own admission, didn't like the neighborhood he was policing in. He said, nobody likes Ferguson. Nobody likes that neighborhood. It's a bad neighborhood. If that's your attitude about a place that you're asked to go and police and the people you're supposed to work with, you can't tell me that you haven't internalized those biases, because liberal white folks did, and he's no liberal.
You hear that? It said lit up like a Christmas tree. It's lucky. Lit up like a Christmas tree from fear, man. They're afraid of us. Right? And that goes back to and one shall be stronger than the other. Right? That goes back to when they came out, when they were in the womb even. That hatred is deep. I gotta be like, it's not hatred. We all don't hate. Yeah, okay. That's not what scripture says. But look, a lot of y'all have this type of mindset. Let's grab this video.
Well, I guess to put it simply, we don't. There's a lot of stereotypes out there.
Question is, why do YT people hate black people? Right? And this motherfucker just said he doesn't.
There are some white people that do have hate. And it's usually because of a stereotype that they think all people are the same and they dislike that.
You know why I say it's all? Because the scripture says that. Let's grab a precept. All right. Right? This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. That perpetual hatred, the word perpetual. Let's go into that. Right? The letter Bible. Let's go into that perpetual.
Strong's H 5769. Olam. Olam.
Right? And you see that outline biblical usage, long duration, antiquity, futurity, charity, Salakia, damn, can't read for shit right now. Forever, everlasting, evermore, perpetual, old, ancient. Right? That ancient hatred that they had since the beginning. Where did that ancient hatred start? With Cain and Abel in the beginning. Because that same spirit that was on Cain that caused him to unalive Abel, that same spirit was on Esau, Edom. Right? It was the same situation. Esau, Edom wanted to unalive Jacob. And then so on and so forth. This is a never-ending hatred, a perpetual hatred. And you can't argue that. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So we are not to trust these people, man. They come out and say that, hey, not all of us are like that. No, we don't trust that. We don't trust that. Don't trust it. Don't believe it, man. Yeah, I've hated us since the very beginning. So I do not believe that will ever change, right? But don't take my word for it. Let's hear from your own people. Hear from your own people, man. Right?
Hugo said, "No force on earth can stop an idea whose time has come. The idea of one race, the human race, is an idea whose time has come. We are not going to be able to stop it no matter what they do. They can elect Trump after Trump after Trump, and that will not stop the idea that there's only one race on the face of the earth. It's the human race, and we are all members of it. You and I are cousins. Now, if you don't like being my cousin, that's too bad for you. But we are all in the same family. We are members of the family of man."
You say that all whites are racist. Can you expound on that, please?
Any white person who was born, raised, and schooled in the United States of America, if you...
Now you hear that? She said this. All YT people are racist. She said that. We didn't say that. She said it.
You aren't a racist, you're a miracle. Either that or you decided to educate yourself. Because
you hear that? Slocky for continuing to pause it. She said, if you aren't racist, it is a miracle.
Education in this country is about white is right, brown's all right, black's got to stand back. Yellow's mellow, but whites, we educate in a way that says that white males have done all the adventures, have made all the adventures, have done all the discovering, have made all, everything that is good and has been accomplished according to social studies, which is actually anti-social studies, by white males. It's a lie. But we do that in order to maintain the myth of white superiority. The myth of race has to be maintained at all costs in this country.
To control the narrative.
If white people have to give up the color of their skin as being something that makes them perfect, what do they have left? If we start teaching the truth about history, if we start teaching about Nile Valley contributions, give up the color, maintain the myth of white superiority. The myth of race has to be maintained at all costs in this country. Because if white people have to give up the color of their skin as being something that makes them perfect, what do they have left? If we start teaching the truth about history.
You hear that? So it's not, so when we say that Yahushua is a so-called black man, don't try to twist it and try to say that we're being racist, right? You have been racist since the beginning. You've been doing this since the beginning, man. You've hated us since the beginning. And you control the narrative. So you did that.
If we start teaching about Nile Valley contributions to civilization, it will totally change the way we conduct ourselves in the classroom. It will have to. Columbus didn't discover America. You can't discover a place where people are already living. But we celebrate that every October. It's a lie. We need to get over, we need to stop telling the myths and start telling the truth.
Most people will say, I'm not racist.
I'm not a racist. Why, some of my best friends are black.
Right.
Yeah, and then you say, name one. Or this one, I don't see color. And when some woman says to me,
yo, run that back. Lock here. Why is it freezing? Don't freeze on me now, man. No, it's freezing. Sloggy, sloggy. Let me try to fix this. Sloggy, so we got that back up.
Every October, it's a lie. We need to get over, we need to stop telling the myths and start telling the truth.
Most people will say, I'm not racist.
I'm not a racist. Why, some of my best friends are black.
Right.
Yeah, and then you say, name one. Or this one, I don't see color. And when some woman says to me, I don't see color, I say, I knew that. If you saw color, you wouldn't dye your hair that way. Or I say, if you saw color, you wouldn't wear that shirt with those pants. I believe that you don't see color. It's an attempt to deny skin color. And it's an attempt to deny what's wrong with seeing the color of my skin. Is it all right for you to see me kind of pink? That's okay for me. I don't mind.
You see that? She didn't say white. She didn't say white tea. She said pink. Really red. Because that's what the scriptures say that Esau Edom was, man. He was red. And the first came out red. Right? And there's some people that be like, no, it was ruddy. It's not ruddy, man. It didn't say ruddy. Ruddy's in the scriptures twice. Red is in the scriptures once. Why? If it meant ruddy, it would have said ruddy. Right? You know what? Let's address that real quick. I got something for you. I got a source for you real quick. Yep. Let me go ahead and minimize this. Right. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 25. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. The first came out red. It said red, not ruddy. Right. Now, let's grab a source real quick. Right. Right. We got the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. We are going to red. Red, a blood-like or blood red color. Look, drop down where I got it underlined. Human skin. Genesis 25:25. It's describing human skin. So the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, man. Now we know why Esau Edom was red. It's because when he came out, you could see his blood through his skin. So I wish they would stop trying to play like we haven't already figured them out. Hey, and the water for everyone who tuned in this long. I know we were all over the place. We were just going where the spirit led. I pray that this was edifying. And with that, shalom.